Alright, so I got Kahhori yesterday, and in my last video, last video, in my last Kahhori video, I said this was a pass. She wasn't going to be anything worth, not that she wouldn't be good, but that she wasn't vital enough to waste your resources. And at that time, we didn't know the numbers for the snap packs and whatnot. And it turns out the numbers for the snap packs checked out, about how we thought they were going to be, actually. And so everything's good. But Kahhori's still not a card to waste resources on. It's one of those, oh yeah, I pulled it from a snap pack, cool, as opposed to, you know, I went 4 keys deep for her like I did. Which I rolled high on the last 2 and got, with only 1 key, I got both of the last cards in 1 key. So I had 3 keys and then plenty of resources to get a 4th key. So I went ahead and grabbed Kahhori. But I think that everyone is looking at the card wrong. So everyone is thinking, stuff your hand as much as possible so that Kahhori procs more times. And I think the value out of Kahhori is something like a Gwenpool, right? Or even a Galacta, where it's not what you hit, or it's not how much you hit, but what you hit, right? And you want those priority targets. So we'll go over those in a second. But basically, Kahhori's like Gwenpool more than she is Galacta. Galacta is dependable. Hit a card once, hit another card once, kind of finish your game, right? Or if you play on 5, then you're just kind of hitting your last card or whatever. Galacta's not one. I mean, you can ramp her out, but she's not really ramped out, and she just kind of sits there, and she's very reliable and dependable. Whereas Gwenpool is like, ramp her out early, maybe proc her a couple of times, hit things in your hand. You want to slam her down on Wong or something. If you see a Comertage, you're like, woo! And Kahhori's kind of that same feeling, where you kind of just, really, it's a mix between Gwenpool and Galacta. So you want less things on the board and more things in your hand, and you want those priority targets on the board. So for priority targets, we have things, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's one that's been used with Galacta for the same reason. You know, that extra power on top of a card that can move to win you a game and actively looks to win you a game. Absolutely love this Nicoletta variant, by the way. Is great, and the fact that you can hit, I mean, it's just +1 power, but you can hit her, you know, and that's a game changer. When I found this out, I was like, that's where the card unlocks. You can hit a card multiple times. So let's say you have 1 card on the board, 7 cards in hand, well, 6 cards in hand when you play player, then you're gonna hit that 1 card 6 times. That's massive. So knowing that, we have cards like Scarlet Spider. Obviously, the new card in Captain Carter. But obviously, Sebastian Shaw is the big winner, right? Sebastian Shaw is the card that is going to make the most use out of getting hit multiple times with Kahhori. So if it gets hit once with Galacta, it's like, okay, cool. It's going to be 3 extra power plus the 2 power, so what, a 3/9? Yeah, but you can hit it once with Kahhori, and it'll proc its effect, and then another time, and then another time, and it just keeps procking its effect. It's similar to the way that Gwenpool can make a Sebastian Shaw just shoot up in power. I've been playing a lot of Gwenpool lately, and in my opinion, Gwenpool is so much better than Galacta. Galacta is like old Chavez, right? Where Galacta is very dependable. She's reliable. She's easy. You know what you're getting when you can map it out. Okay, I put Galacta down. Now I can put a card down like Brood, and I know that all the Broodlings will get that +3 power as well. Whereas with Gwenpool, it's kind of okay. I've got 2 power 3 times. Will it hit the Brood? Will it hit the Shah? What else will it hit? And then you kind of just have to roll with it. But when it hits, and it does hit often, it is so much better because it's not just, again, it's not that one time hit, it's 3 times hit. And Kahhori gives that same feeling. So, with that in mind, I made some decks. First one, I absolutely love this deck. I bring it up probably 5 times a season. Right. It's a Nimrod Black Panther deck that I've recently stuck Galactus into because it just works, right? You can steal some cubes that way. But you're not putting a whole lot down. So you put the Zabu or you put the Psylocke, right? And then you put something else. And you're really like, so what you want to try and do, right, is put the Symbiote Spider-Man down, and then on 3, and then Kahhori on 4 to just rack up the points on that Symbiote Spider-Man, right? And then you can drop Nimrod or Galactus on top of that. Nimrod's my preferred go-to just because a lot of people know Galactus is coming with the Symbiote Spider-Man, and they'll usually fill the lane. But even if you Zabu Kahhori, you can do something like Kahhori plus Venom last turn. It's really great. So this is where I started with. She's not essential in here, but she is another piece that just really helps to add more power, right? But then I really wanted to lean more into cards that benefit from having Kahhori's power, and it's easier to ramp into and whatnot. So I did another version of it with Namora and Scarlet Spider. So you can do something like Scarlet Spider, Kahhori, Namora, and then, finish off how you want. There's a lot of things you can do. You can even Wong into Scarlet Spider, Namora, and then you can Kahhori on top of the Wong, and then the Scarlet Spider, what have you. There's a lot of things. And then if you Symbiote Spider, you can play Kahhori in the Symbiote Spider-Man lane and then get 2 procs of the Symbiote Spider-Man, or you can obviously Galactus. There's just a lot of flexibility there. And then you can always do the Symbiote Spider-Man, Nimrod, Venom Grandmaster play. And going with the Namora, I wanted to lean even further into cards that need or that benefit a lot from having their power boosted. So this is a boosted power deck. Now, the Killmonger Nova package hasn't been around in quite a while, but there was a time that Surfer just ate that shit up, right? And Dawkins has mainly been a bullseye card, but utilizing cards like the Killmonger Nova as well as the Kahhori, you can really boost his power up and win a lane. He doesn't need to take over multiple lanes, have multiple shards, all that stuff. You can Kahhori, you can get multiple hits on him, get him up to a, 310 is pretty good. As well as hitting cards like Sebastian Shaw, who's going up, and then the Killmonger Nova. We have the Namora. If you have Shaw in one lane, Doc in another, and then your Namora, bam, you got a 3-9 over here, what is it going to be, 311, Sebastian Shaw, really good. And then again, you can finish off with the Killmonger Nova, or what have you. You can play Captain Marvel, and then she can move to a lane to win you. There's a lot of really different play lines. I like a deck with a lot of playlines to win. And then Gwenpool is just a backup in the deck to, you know, see what you can hit. You can even Psylocke into Gwenpool and then put out whatever card gets boosted by Gwenpool to then get boosted again by Namora, etc., etc. And then the last deck of the day. So there was a deck going around this past weekend that had Shaw and Captain Carter, and it was boosted power and whatnot. I think it had Galacta in there, because of course. But I wanted to stick with the Killmonger Dawkins style of thing, right? But imagine, you Gwenpool into Mysterio. Every hit that Mysterio gets is +2 power, not only for main Mysterio, but for the clones. So if you hit, all three on Mysterio, you're getting 2/6 Mysterio, and then, or 210 actually, Mysterio with 2/6 clones on each side. So that's pretty good power. And then, hitting things like Captain Carter with Kahhori, that significantly boosts the power across the entire lane that she's in, right? And Sarah is there for making things cheaper for last turn. You can do something like Sebastian Shaw plus Killmonger plus Mysterio and Nova, or you can do like Mysterio, Sinister, Killmonger, Nova, a lot of different play lines on the last turn. Or you can do like Kahhori plus Killmonger, Nova. So, or, if you don't get Sarah, this deck doesn't hinge on Sarah. But that's the decks for Kahhori that I have this week. Yeah, so enjoy these gameplay highlights, and till the next one.
throne.
Wakanda forever!
Enough said, bub.
Wakanda forever!
Cut off one head, two more shall take its place.
Wakanda forever!
All systems go.
Snap!
You won't need this anymore.
Oh, snap! Opponent snapped!
I'm with the throne!